Hello there, YouTube. This is Zoo Tycoon Steve. Welcoming you back to the next episode in our next level zoo, the very first build I've ever made in Planet Zoo. Today we're going to be going ahead and trying to build sort of a smaller exhibit. I don't want to do like the pre-made teeny tiny exhibits like they do for the reptiles and the amphibians. I also don't want to do like another big exhibit like what we did with the llamas last time. So instead, what we're going to do is be focusing in this area between our giant anteaters and our llamas and see if we can't make a series of smaller exhibits, starting with this episode, starting with an exhibit here, and then we're going to kind of build probably like a zookeeper area in the middle and then put like one or two other exhibits out here. But first we need to do is figure out what animal we're going to be putting in that. So what we're looking for is an animal that either requires very little space or is comfortable living solitary, and therefore we can devote all the space to that specific animal. So I'm going to tell you right now, the American bison are right out. Arctic wolves are pack animals, that ain't going to work. Bongos, bonobos, cheetahs, pangolins. That's interesting. Pangolins. Let's check pangolins on the Zoopedia before we make a mistake here. What do we got? I think they're Chinese pangolins is what they're under. Chinese pangolin. Okay. So we'll go ahead and look. They only require 182 square meters. They don't even need any water. They don't need any climbing. That's fine. Okay, so species. 1 to 3 males and 1 to 3 females. Okay, so they can live in bachelors and female bachelor groups. So I can just do one at a time if I need to. We can see that we've already researched quite a bit of the things they like, including diet and recreation, so we can, and food enrichment. So we can set up a pretty nice, happy habitat for them right away. And they don't like to be with any other species anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a small-ish pangolin exhibit somewhere in this area. So what I'm going to do is go ahead into the animal trading, and I saw them. Where did I just see them? Timberwolves. Oh, the game was paused. I shouldn't have deleted them. Hopefully we didn't mess ourselves up here. Anteaters. You know what? Let's just do it this way. Any species to Chinese pangolin. Okay, there the two are that we saw earlier. They're both males, so there's no reason to bring them both in. Let's go ahead and check. Whoops. I hit the refresh button by mistake. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. You were a pet, poor guy. And then you're not the longest lived, but other than that, you're pretty good. You would cost. Oh, you are not going to be very long lived at all. So, yep, Mr. Bao here, the pet. I'm going to go ahead and adopt him. No, we're not going to send him to zoo yet, obviously. And we're going to go through and, like I said, build a smallish exhibit right here. It's going to, hopefully, if it goes the way I think about it in my head, will be both an inside and an outside with like a viewing area that goes around this, and then we can make like an inside area here. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I think that's the tough part. I'll get this figured out. Yeah, I can see it in my head. So I'm gonna go into build from here. All right, pangolin time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to building here. The first thing we're going to do is work on the pathways in front. And I want to get that done first because I think it's going to define how we're going to shape the viewing area of this exhibit. So I think we're just going to kind of have one big viewing area because I have that idea of doing it with like 2 or 3 exhibits kind of looking the same with smaller animals in this gap we're trying to fill between our giant anteaters and the... thinking of how I want to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and just like build up a construction of the front. Well, I should have finished the thought between the giant anteaters and the llamas that we built the previous exhibit. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just kind of use the construction to build the viewing area, and then we're going to lay the fence like inside that or just behind it so that the guests can't quite see it. All they'll see is this construction we're putting up front. I'm going to use this bamboo here and use the lower bamboo like so it gets higher at the edges of the exhibit. Yeah, I think that's going to cover it. I don't 100% love that path, so we might change that, but it gives me a good idea of how wide we're going to need to make this area at least. So go ahead and drop down a whole bunch of this bamboo kit, like so. Yeah, let's go ahead and make this area smooth out. And now I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I want to build an inside area. And this I'm actually going to build on a grid and float it in because I want it all evenly spaced. We'll get rid of one of these. So I want a door in the back. So if my theory works, I'm going to have sort of going south to north. I want to have an outside area along the path for the animal, an inside area, and then like a zookeeper area behind where the animals can get to. So we'll go ahead and finish our little octagonal hut we're going to build for the inside area. Yeah, I'm just going to have to kind of float this in and then line it up like so. This game lets you make really, really good, realistic exhibits, better than I am currently capable of making, if I'm honest with myself. But the cost of it is that you have to be willing to sort of eyeball and then tinker. And that's how you get these really incredible exhibits. So hopefully my patience holds out here. I can get at least better than the previous exhibits I've been building in here. Kind of show you what the potential of this game is. So I'm going to go ahead and put down a... do I want an archway there? I don't think I want the archway. Let's go ahead and do the just flat, and then we'll put a roof piece across there. Just so it looks like it's animal height, not human height. Okay, and we'll put in the back walls here. This would be much easier if I just built a square building instead of this octagonal. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octagonal. Nailed it. Octagonal building. But I think that's going to make it look a little cooler. It's just, I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of my sanity to flex at these walls. So let's get this tree out of the way for now. Okay. And then this is actually going to be, now that I'm building it, and I realize, a ridiculous sized internal exhibit for a single pangolin. Yeah, so we might add some friends, because he's going to be able to fit more than one. We're giving him more than enough space. So I want the, it's a little too skinny. I want to kind of come off halfway from that corner. And I'm leaving that kind of acute corner there, because that gives me a place to sort of tuck in some plants, and or some trees, or rocks even. Just kind of forcing myself to do that, so I won't forget later. And more or less get these guys lined up and connected, like so. Yeah, it's close enough for them to work. Great. So now, first thing I want to do is I'm going to lay one of these, it's called a null fence. And we're going to put this behind. Like so. We're going to put this behind that bamboo we put out there. I like to stop in the middle of my sentences, I noticed. I don't think it's going to behoove us to bend that glass. Let me go ahead and instead of, I think it's easier to fit the construction things to the glass than it is to fit the glass to the construction things. So let me go ahead and get this fence in where and how I want it. Get rid of that. And we want to just take this to the very edges there. Perfect. And now we'll put that faux bamboo in front again. So to the guest, it looks like they're all one piece. Fake bamboo and real glass. That way the guests can really see the animal and still have a notable barrier so they don't feel like it's going to escape. Plus it's just a nice little decorating touch. I noticed now I did a mistake. I started this from the left and the right, which means of course they don't line up exactly right. I should have always just start one way, work left to right or right to left, and that way I'm keeping on the same exact angle. Get you in and then slide you over. And it's okay if this doesn't quite touch the edge, because I noticed there were some bamboo poles that I can put to both give character and kind of disguise the fact that these aren't lining up 100%. So I'll kind of pop that peak off. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and move this giant anteater speaker out of the way and change it down so people aren't hearing that. And like I said, I'm not 100% in this pathway, so we're going to go ahead and change that. But I think that's good for the bare bones. So let's go ahead and grab those bamboo poles while I'm thinking about them. I'm going to line the doorway, I'm going to line these shorter ones. In fact, I'm probably going to put this one right here in the middle, just so it looks like it's two big panes of glass. Because I feel like that makes it a little more realistic, also gives it that little bit of extra character we're going for. So I'll just float these in here. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, yeah, I can live with that. I'm going to go ahead now and take those little uneven bamboo. I'm going to lay them across the top here just so it's not so samey. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, moving right along. What do we want now? Do I want to lay a border across the top here? So the border across the top here, the bonus is you can write on it. We could like put Pangolin or whatever, Chinese pangolins across the side if we had enough room. I think the downside is, because we have the top and the bottom border, it might feel like we're not getting enough room to view the animal. Yeah, since we only have one viewing area, I'm going to go ahead and... Well, maybe if I move them back. No, now since we only have one viewing area, you can see two parts of my mind are currently fighting against each other. Let me go ahead and get it all straightened. And if it looks straight and right and beautiful, does that. I really wish that you could, that while you were in construction, while you had the game paused, the daylight didn't change. For some reason that still it's probably a setting I just don't know about. But it's good enough lighting that we can figure out the pathway situation. So what do we want to do here? I think we still want to keep this gentle curve around the giant anteaters. Maybe have like a big wide path. So yeah, let's go ahead and delete that. And then we'll get the curve into the giant anteaters created. I want this to bend up against the glass like that, and then find its friend. Let's start from the other end because it'll probably get easier. Yeah, bend like that. Thank you. Okay, pretty good. We can still get to that stand, and we'll diggle the fence to get it in. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that. It's a little too much. Instead, what I can do to give it still more character is I can take those long bamboo poles somewhere in here. Do I have any signs I could use? Getting lost here because I just unlocked that new world pack. Trying to get as much research done so I have as many options as possible. I probably should just make a sandbox zoo at some point, but right now I kind of like the challenge. So anyway, I've got the bamboo poles. We're going to go ahead and horizontalize them, and then we're just going to float them up and put them across the top of that null fence. So it looks like there's a top barrier. Like so. And then we'll just slide it to the left, to the left. Trying to get the pole across the fence to the left. Okay. And yeah, it was horizontally enough. So we can just move it. Why doesn't that not quite line? Oh, I wonder if it's... That's pretty good, actually. Let me go ahead and try it. I'm going to flip it 180 degrees. See if that lines up better, because I'm not sure the bamboo pole is even on the left and the right. But if I mirror them, flip them left, right, then their ends should be perfectly aligned. Of course, it's bamboo, so maybe it doesn't really matter in the end, but yeah, that made it lined up real nice. Now, I think these things are 8 meters, so they're not going to quite go all the way across. So we're going to have a stubby one. So I guess trying to make it perfect was actually a futile effort that we could have saved ourselves precious seconds with, but you know, it's a little bits that count. Get you in here. That still looks good. I can't see like bad separation or a problem between the two. So let's go ahead then. We'll take one more pipe. And this one will have to kind of halfway slide into the other. And just pray that they line up well, which they should. This game's pretty good about that, so. Yeah, that came out well. Okay. It came out so at least if you're in the area the guest would be looking at it. I'm diggling it with it here to get it around to the edge. But yeah, it fades into the other pole just fine. So that's good. That's good. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this inside area. I want to go ahead and put an actual floor on it. So I think the easiest way is just going to be... no, I don't want it to be wood floor, so let's get like a cement or even a metal looking one. Something that makes it look like a little more clinical. Something like... this is the inside area. Something that we could easily clean and do work in if we had to. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and lay those on the grid, and then we're going to put catty corner ones. Of course, those ones are actually going to have to be off the grid because you can't go 45 degrees and be on the same grid. Which is a shame. It's like the one thing that makes construction difficult. But I think what we can do is just... Do I want to do something fancy with the roof? No. Shoot, now I've lost the one I was working with. So I think what we want to do is just go ahead and lay down the ones. Actually, that looks better, but let's get it in the right place. Yeah, okay, floor, get that lined up perfectly. So we'll put these guys that are straight on the grid, and then we'll just build off the grid and float the extra ones in here. So, like so, angle, bring it in, and I think, because this is, that didn't quite work either. Oh, you know what? It's not going to line up quite perfectly, because though I angled, it's going to be a longer distance between the two. So we're going to have to lay down 2 per angle area. So we'll go ahead and rotate this 45-ish, lay it there, and then we'll duplicate it. And there. And yeah, that looks great. Okay. I was a little worried because they're technically bleeding into each other. It would look wonky, like the lines would clash. But nope, this game does a good job of handling that. So we'll go ahead and put these in. Like a so. Like a so. Yes. You can tell I'm getting more confident in this game because every single episode I feel like I'm doing a slightly more complex structure with the got here. Okay, now I'm trying to think. I'm pausing a minute in my head because I haven't done this before, but I'm going to try to build in the staff keeper area into the actual exhibit. So what I'm going to do is set it off. Set it off by 1. I'm using the grid to kind of line that up. So we want it there. Oh, we want it there, but we want it facing. The door facing south towards the exhibit. And then I want an actual gate. Whoops, I dropped a. I want the gate to come off the exhibit like that, so it creates a pathway. Perfect, that's exactly what we wanted. And we'll raise it up so it's the same height. Good. So that's where the actual exhibit will begin as far as the game is concerned, where that gate is. Let's build a little fake room around that. And whoops. Do we not? That's the door. I don't see the one for the actual window. That's okay, we can just make our own real quick. So, where's the wider one? Oh, that'll work. That, and we'll get the fatter one. Just kind of put the roof there, and then flip this down here. Nope, that one's not wide enough. Well, I can put one on the lower, one on the bottom like that. Great, that works fine. I thought there was one that was made to exactly fit that, but I probably scrolled right past it. There we go. There it is. Put it on. Figures. Okay. So now, what I do is this pathway to continue outward, because we're going to fake it to make it look like, you know what, it's probably going to be easier, because that's going to want to turn it, so it's probably going to be easier to just, yeah, I'm not going to be able to put that on the grid. Do I need to delete it and make the path fresh? That's probably the answer. Let's go ahead and, yeah, because it won't even connect perfectly if it's on the outside. Okay, yeah. Because I can't line that up perfectly, so we're just going to delete that path that we don't want, and then we're going to make a path like that. Perfect. Okay. Just by doing it one step at a time, that's great. Put a little faux wall here and a little door here. So the game's going to consider the exhibit to begin where that fence gate is, but we're going to make it look like the exhibit begins where we fly the store in. Like that's the opening area. So let's see if we can't get this an exact. I probably could have just built this on the grid and made it easier for myself, but that still looks great. So actually it doesn't look great. There's a little gap there in there. Okay, we can fill in that little gap. So I'll put you down and we'll just get you lined up perfectly and then smooshed in. And we'll do the same thing on the left here. Smooshed in. Okay, perfect. Now that door looks like it's actually perfect. And we can just go ahead and cover up this area with the roof. I don't want to put the roof on this area yet because we're going to do some things on the inside of the Pangolins area to hopefully get it looking a little bit more exact. What basically I'm planning on doing, I'm going to drop just like some fences in there, kind of independent fences. Go ahead and put the door and the wall, the roof there before I forget. That's fine. Okay. What I'm going to do is put some, just standalone chain link fences on the inside there. Oh, one of my bamboo poles is going to fly in there. Either way, let's go ahead. Before I get what I wanted to do. We're going to put a wide path here. Let's put it here, make it as wide as we can, and then just drag it straight across. Even if that creates two unequal sides, the fact that I've got that thick pathway going right to where my pangolins will be. Let's go ahead and move this tree to the center of the area-ish, like that. Oh, there's so much grass poking up here. Let's turn that to dirt. Nope, too much dirt flowing over. There we go, just to get through it. Oh, it occurs to me now, instead of dirt, I could use short grass, and then in order to poke through the cement. Either way, let's go ahead and fix this pole. I thought we had this right. Maybe I misclicked or something. Okay, good. That's back where it should be. You know, we've kind of got the skeleton of our exhibit up still. Are there any, like, pictures that I can use, maybe? Something cute. I haven't unlocked the, like, the Chinese construction stuff, so that's why I'm kind of sticking with just the simple bamboo here. And of course it means I don't have any like pictures for or posters for these animals yet. Yeah, that's okay. We can make it look good enough. And since we're not super theming it Chinese, that also makes it, when we put in most other exhibits I'm planning on, we don't have to use exclusively animals from Southeast or from East Asia. Alright, we'll connect the pathway there so that our zookeepers can get in. That's not probably going to be a permanent pathway, but that's good enough. Let's go ahead and bring in the pangolin so I can see exactly what its requirements are when I set this up. And why that's coming, I'm going to go ahead and put in this null fence in the middle of our fake construction bamboo. Try to get this lined up as straight as I can. Should more or less conform. More or less. It would be nice if, like, the construction walls just counted as fence walls. In fact, they might, actually. Now, I'm saying that out loud, there's a 50% chance that they actually do. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and put in the null fence just because I know it works. And yeah, you can see it bleeding through a little. That's okay. I realized that was going to happen. So what I'm going to do is reduce it where it seems egregious. And then we're going to kind of disguise it with plants on the outside. And then in the inside exhibit, I'm going to put another layer of walls that are going to be like the fake concrete walls, because that's going to make that look on the outside like it's bamboo and part of the whole, and then on the inside more like it's a utilitarian area, which is what we're going for, hopefully. So yeah, like here it's kind of egregious, but why would you not? Yeah, it keeps saying it's obstructed. Any other place that I really cannot? What I can do is put these bamboo posts on the outside just to give it a little more character. I'm actually okay with that. Let's go ahead and do that. Even though they're like really uneven and weird. It just kind of struck me as a bit of whimsy, but I like it. Okay. Back to what our pangolin needs here. He still hasn't relocated yet, so go ahead and unpause the game, speed her up, and get him here as quickly as possible. Oh, it's bright light of day too, so it'll be easier to see things. There's a pangolin. Pause. And yeah, plenty of room, of course. The habitat's a little bit off, way too much tall grass. And then the nice thing about this is, since we've got this fake floor on the inside of the area, we can paint that whatever we want. So if we have like a really deficient need for soil or whatever, we can paint that underneath the floor and it won't even matter, because it's not going to mess up anything aesthetically, because you can't see it from any of the guest point of views or even the zookeeper point of view. So that's another good reason to have an outside area. But let's go ahead and put in these metal railed walls. Yeah, this is making me regret so much making an octagon space. Because if I just made it square, I could build these guys on a grid, snap, 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 done. But instead, you get to watch me fidget and fuss. Lots of fidget and fussing. If you're not a fidgeter and fusser, this might not be the game for you. Lulu. Putting up fake wall stuff. Putting up fake wall stuff is my favorite stuff. Lulu. Okay. so. Ah! I just want you to line up perfectly every time. Why won't you? Come on, man, be a team player. Okay. The good news is, it's as I do it more, getting these things to line up is getting easier and easier. I'm getting like the sensitivity on how them. Ah, that wall's still poking out. We're gonna have to play a little bit with this fence here. Let's go ahead and put the wall in. Put the frame around this door. Nope, that's not the right kind of wall. What is this called? I think it was like metal slatted. Why don't I see? Yeah, there we go. Slatted in. Bueno. And now I've got to fix you. And I think we're going to actually have you sticking outside a little bit. I think so. But that'll work. There we go. Yeah, it's outside a little bit, but that's going to be real easy to disguise. We're going to put trees in front of it. Don't tell anyone. Okay. And what can we do to make this a little bit better? Yeah, way too much tall grass. So it likes short grass. And it needs a little bit of, well, it needs actually decent bits of soil and rock. Well, it can handle rock. It doesn't actually need rock. Rock can be at 0%. So I'm not going to put any. I'm going to concentrate on the soil here. And for enrichment objects, what kind of... Yeah, like I said, we got a couple of things unlocked here. Oh, that feeder thing is huge. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use this little spiral feeder. And I'm going to use one of these little toy boxes. And, uh-oh, it wants me to snap this to the grid. So anytime, just pro tip, if you need to put something down that's trying to snap to the grid, if you hold down the control button, that frees it from the grid, and then you can just put it anywhere you want. So, pro tip. It's like the first pro tip I can give, so I'm very proud of it. I'm not sure if I want to build a climbing structure. In fact, I don't think I want to. I'll save that for the next exhibit, but let's go ahead and put in these fences here, like I talked about. Let's go snap it to 90. And we're just going to put in, well, I don't want a full fence there. I want it to be able to walk through it. But just to give the suggestion of like different areas that you could potentially put them in. I wish there was like a fake gate or a working gate that like zookeepers could fly over. Oh, I guess there is. I guess I could put a zookeeper gate in. That's interesting. I'd have to think about that. Would that mess with it? Probably would mess with the hip. I'm not going to experiment with it here. I'll try that off camera. If it works, I'll show you later. Or if you know how to get more realistic like pens and stuff, just leave a message in the comments. Please. I'm flying blind right now. Okay. Okay. And we'll go ahead and put an fence there. So there's like a space where a fence could go. At least get that. I guess I could have like one going off all like at a weird 45-degree angle or something, like so it kind of mocks an open gate. But I don't want to cause issues for the pangolins coming in and out. So until I have a chance to experiment with that, we're just going to kind of leave it like that. Just kind of give ourselves a suggestion of it. Oh, I forgot to put the frame around here. Ooh, a little too high. We'll shift it down a bit. Now I can see that this is not the correct angle or correct. Oh, this is going to cause issues. Gonna have to do a little tweak until it lines up the way we want it to exactly. Cause I bet you it looks good here, but I bet you when we go outside now, yeah, it's flying through here. Okay, so we're gonna have to play very carefully. And worst comes to worst, we can probably cheat that bamboo forward just a slight bit, but I don't think we're going to need to. What I think we can do, let's go ahead and put this across here so I'm not doing them one side and back and one side and back and one side all on the same. I want to do them all on the same side first. So let's get this part in. Okay. And I want it to line up with the bars of the other grates we put down. That might be a little low. It's also a little too far in. So just like that, I think is the best way to do it. And then we'll push this in a little bit. Ah, beautiful. Okay, let's work on the outside here. I want to make a little hill. Like so. And then we're just going to smooth it out, super smooth it. In fact, that hill is a little bit on the high side, so what we might do is just poke it down, flatten to that new height, and then smooth it out. Yeah, I just want the terrain to be kind of interesting to stare at for our guest. So we got a grassy hill in there. That's good. And Asia and tropical. Ah, nice. We do have nice tall bamboo to line the sides of our fence. So we'll go ahead and throw that down, and we'll put shorter bamboo in front, just to kind of, again, disguise where it is. So the idea will be, like, if you're looking into the exhibit, the inside area will almost look like you're seeing a hut in the village or something like that. And we put that medium bamboo in front of where the door would be. The same thing for the hill, just to disguise. It won't be completely invisible, but disguise where the area the animals go in and out of the exhibit go. Put down some signage. We'll also drop, I don't want this in the middle of the path. We'll also drop an education speaker and make it just big enough it doesn't interfere with our giant anteaters. Signage there. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. Oh, I don't have a keeper hut, so keepers do not like it here, and this doesn't have power. But fortunately, we've got a nice place we can tuck the power. Right back there. Beautiful. Looks like, almost like I knew what I was doing the whole time. And let's see. Let's go ahead and grab trees and bushes to disguise that area where the null fence was coming out, like I said I would. There we go. And let's go ahead and get the roof on. Why is this not connecting? Oh, let's go ahead and turn on Snap to Grid again. Dupe. And same thing like we did with the floor. We're going to go ahead and lay the ones that are at the 90 degrees with each other there, and we'll just have to float in to, let's make you independent, float in to 45-degree angles to cover the gaps. Probably a better way, but if there is, I don't know it yet. So, and like I said, this game is actually pretty good about not making it look too wonky once you get these things all floated in. So it's one of those, if you're looking for it, you can see it, but if you're just kind of taking it in, I don't think you'll notice it. So close enough for where we are in our understanding now. That one worked almost perfect. They poked through it all. Okay. Yeah, if I could get that for all my corners, I would be happy. Alrighty. Beautiful, beautiful. Just taking a look around. Looks pretty good. Probably want to fancy up this area out front here. Let's put down, can't believe there's already garbage here. 2 benches, recycle garbage. Okay. And we'll make this a work zone. We're going to build a big work zone over the next couple of exhibits, or over the next couple of episodes with these exhibits. But the work zone doesn't have, whoops, I knew there was one other thing I wanted to do. Okay, so this one I actually did plan and completely forgot about it. We're going to go ahead and put the keeper hut, their place where our keepers go to read chillax. We're going to build that there on the back side, turn this way. Oh, you know what I can do? Let's go ahead and get rid of all these bushes and things here. And even though that's an empty space, we're going to make it look like it's part of a building. And over our zookeeper's break room, I'm actually going to make it a second story area. Let's go ahead and leave the power generator out. I'm going to make it a second story area like so, just to give a little character to the building we're building. That way it'll look like it's not all one flat, boring box, but it's got a little area towards the back. And even though that area is completely empty and pointless, it's still going to look good, make it look like there's something going on there to interest our guest. So there, you can see that. You know what? Let's give a little awning to our zookeepers. Just a nice little touch. I feel like if I was in let's get these bushes in the right space. If I was in I'm gonna extend this pathway once. Build a bench. If I was in sandbox mode, I might do a little bit more decorating wise. Actually, we haven't spent that much money here because we started with about 30,000. We only spent about 6,000. I think it's because the pangolin themselves are so cheap. But there we go. There's a nice little pangolin. You know what? Let's go ahead. A little more character. Can we add? Oh, it's causing hitbox issues with the roofs we already have. Okay, instead of that, let's go ahead and take this green bamboo pathway and just kind of lay a stripe across here, just to give it a little character. Like that. You know, do I want to cross the bottom too? No, I don't like it across the bottom. Okay, yeah, but just a little something something. Okay, very, very good. Very happy with that. Let's go ahead and hire the staff that we're going to be putting into work area 6 here. And, oops, we'll actually have to redefine work area 6 so it includes the happy area. And then they get a break room, and we can put all these people on work zone 6. I think 5 is the llamas, if I remember right. But anyway, work zone 6, there we go. I need to start naming the work zones because I'm getting too many. Alright, and there we are. With a Pangolin Exhibit constructed, a Pangolin land, a Pangoland, if you will. I think it looks pretty good. I'm a little, if I had thought it out in the future, I would have put more than one observation area down, but since we're planning on doing multiple smaller exhibits, like I said, I'm going to have probably another one over here, and then another one filling in this area. And all of them working off sort of that same guest area. But let's go ahead and... oh, we actually do need to do one thing before we unfreeze time here. So this is not a totally wasted venture. We need to go ahead and put down some donation boxes. People can say, wow, what a great Pangolin exhibit. Let me give you money for just having such a great exhibit. I'll just put one here and one here so they're not blocking any of the signage or any of the interactions. Go ahead and unfreeze time then so our new staff we just purchased can also stop hovering in the air. They'd probably appreciate that. Oh, it's been paused so long. So long we have a freeze. Give it a second here to recalculate. There we go. Looks like it's running smoothly again. Okay, there we are. So here we go. It's our Pangolin exhibit. We'll go ahead and take a peek. Let's get at eye level for our guest. There. And can we see the Pangolin? It might still be on the inside, to be fair. I don't see the Pangolin in the outside exhibit, but I do like the look of the exhibit itself. Oh, and the guests are already starting to line up. In fact, I do like the fact that we took the time to make that a multi-tiered structure in the back to give it just a little bit more character. Let's go ahead and... ooh, one of our Komodo dragons is about to die from old age. Go ahead and zoom in here, see where our Pangolin is. Is it still inside? Yes, it is. It's still inside. Just checking out this little box here. In fact, it messed up the box so much I had to get out. I wonder if it's going to be able to find its way out. It's so interested in playing with this little gift box now. It's not moving. Can I just move you to the outside? Yeah. Just boop-doop. Go outside. Have some fun. And it looks like it might be heading back in. Of course. Well, at least that proves it can go inside and out as it wants. So I'm not going to be too upset there. Clearly the Pangolin's having a good day. It just hasn't quite made it out here. Eventually it will. If we had more Pangolins in here, which this exhibit could certainly handle because they have so many, so much space. So we can put a second one in there, make them happy. But I think that's good for today. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. Hope you liked this video, and if you did, just go ahead and click that like button. I'd appreciate that. Just like these guests would appreciate if the Pangolin actually hopped outside. Oh, that's why people are walking so jerky. I've got it on 5 times speed. There, now they're walking like human beings again. Fantabulous. Okay, so there we go. That exhibit's done. I want to thank you again. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Other than that, this is Zoo Tycoon Steve saying goodbye.